I like testing my fitness and getting a result. All the runs that I do, absolutely, give me a medal, I want that, especially the dog, he loves a medal. But I want to see the result. How fast did I go? How many people beat me? How many people did I beat? I love a good result. But I also embrace the rubbish result. Especially the rubbish result you get when you do something for the first time. Because there is no better way of guaranteeing that when you come back, you will crush your previous result. I have so many people that say to me, oh, parkrun, I will do a parkrun one day, but not right now. I wouldn't be very good. Brilliant. Go and do one now. Get a crappy ass time and go back the following week. Knock 5 seconds off. If you knock 5 seconds off your time every week, you're going to be 4 minutes faster at the end of the year. By the time you realise that you can't keep knocking 4 minutes off every year, you'll be so fast that you don't care anymore. Now, if you're thinking you can't really enjoy a bad result, well, we are about to find out. Because I am today doing, on the bike, the 4DP Sufferfest full frontal test thingy. Sound like I don't know exactly what I'm talking about? That's because I don't, so I'll read. Full frontal, the 4DP fitness test, the only test that exposes every aspect of your unique physiology in a single hour, blah de blah de blah. The test will provide you with a complete personal power profile, identify your rider type, beginner, and tell you exactly what aspects of your fitness you need to focus on to become a more complete cyclist. Get a bike would probably be a start. More importantly, the Sufferfest app will then use your results to set personalised power targets for all your workouts based on your unique profile, resulting in the most precise, effective workout available. So the idea is I do the test, it measures 4 different parameters over the course of an hour. Those results are then fed into the app so that when I pick a training program to do for the coming weeks, it'll be a better fit for me. How hard can that be? I've watched a few people do it online and they appear to be completely exhausted. So, reassuring, not at all. What could go well? What could go well? I'm not sure much can go well, really. This might really set the bar very, very low. What can go wrong? Everything else. I haven't trained properly since the start of lockdown, really, so for any sport I'm not in the best of condition. I certainly haven't cycled much. I've done about 3 rides on the bike since I got it. The little bit of cycling I have done this week has exposed the fact that my legs aren't used to cycling. I get very tired very quickly. I was going to say it's quite surprising. It's not surprising at all. I'm not a very good cyclist. So those are the issues. Oh, and pacing. My biggest concern is pacing. I actually made some notes. So there are 4 disciplines that take place during the test. There's a 5-second sprint, a 5-minute, a 20-minute and a 1-minute. The 5-second sprint, I don't mind. How hard can that be? Just go 5 seconds as hard as you can. So the 1-minute one, 1 minute just feels like a lot of 5 seconds put together. I can do that. The 5-minute and 20-minute. If I'm running, for example, and I'm going to do a 5k, which is about a 20-minute run for me, 4 minutes per kilometre, that gets me a 20-minute time. I know what 4 minutes per kilometre feels like. I have no idea what revolutions per minute, what wattage output. I don't know what any of that is going to feel like to be right. The next time I do this test, it might end up being far more valuable. I think I have everything. I've got my cameras, I've got my dual heart rate monitor, outputs in Bluetooth and Ant Plus. Bluetooth needed for the gear that I'm running so I can monitor my heart rate as we go. I had a couple of questions about the bike. Somebody asked, does it rock under load? When you're going flat out, does it wobble about? Well, on the 5-second sprints, we will find out. Oh, and also the buttons here. I did mention this in one of my other videos. There are little buttons on the inside of the hoods, I believe us cyclists refer to these as, and they are very, very easy to press. When you lean forward, it's almost impossible not to press them. You'd think no big deal, but the trouble is on the Sufferfest app, these buttons on the inside here adjust settings. I emailed Wahoo, and the good news is that even over the Easter weekend, they responded immediately. The bad news is they responded by saying, yeah, we get it, it's not ideal, we're working on it. At the moment, you can't turn the buttons off within the Wahoo app or the Sufferfest app. Apparently, it's in the pipeline. I think that is everything. Let's do it. So I'm going to talk through the test as I look back over it, and afterwards also go through the results that I've since got. First, the 5-second test coming up. Okay, the 5-second sprint coming up. This is the one where my main concern is changing gear quick enough and to the right level that I can spin fast enough but don't spin out. I guess we just see how it goes. Interestingly, although the bike does look like it is rocking about a bit, it feels rock solid stable. In fact, if it was any more rigid, it would feel unnatural. So, bike stability, perfect. Hats off, mean business. Hi. So, get 2 goes at the 5-second test, and I think I probably did better on the second one. I started the acceleration into the test a little bit before the 5 seconds actually began, so I hit the start of the test already going pretty much flat out. Okay, 95 RPM, about 220 watts, feels okay. Stick around this, I guess. Now on the 5-minute test, I wasn't quite sure about pacing. The app gave me some suggestions for revolutions per minute and wattage, and I pretty much tried to stick to that. Okay, 3 minutes. I thought maybe I was going too easy, but any harder at the beginning? No way. Maybe it got a little harder, but not a lot. Not a lot. 20-minute test. Okay, it set me 185 as a target. So the 20-minute test, again, the app gave me a target wattage that it thought would be about right for me. I think it was 185 watts. I stuck to that for the first 10 minutes. It says, with 10 minutes to go, halfway, if you feel like you can, step it up, but remain consistent. Okay, 11 to go. We'll try dropping down the gear, up the wattage, keep the RPM the same. Okay, what's interesting, at the end of that, my legs were on fire. Aerobically, I felt fine. 150 beats per minute, heart rate. If I'd run a 20-minute 5K, I'd have been puffing at the end. But aerobically, I feel okay. Heart rate's dropping down to under 130 now, feel good. My legs just feel like toast. Okay, the 1-minute test, which is probably as much mental as anything, and then we're done. And the last test, the 1-minute test, basically just went as hard as I could at the beginning and tried to hold on for as long as possible. The only problem with this was that I'd had a minor issue with the TV through the Apple Play not linking up with the iPhone. So I was using the iPhone screen, obviously it's quite small. And towards the very end of the test, annoyingly, I thought it showed that the test was over, but actually it had gone to 10 seconds left, not 0. So I stopped a little bit early and have to pick it back up again. I don't think it made a huge difference, but it was an annoying way to finish. After all that, what are the results? Well, I have them here to go through, and I should point out, I don't know if these are particularly good or particularly bad results. They're simply what I achieved. I do know where I can improve on them though. So first of all, the 5-second result, 1,260 watts. It's over 1,000, and 1,000 sounds like a big number of anything, doesn't it? 1,000 pounds, 1,000 people, who knows? I could definitely improve on that. That's going to be a technique issue. Starting off my sprint before the 5 seconds starts, so that I hit it already going flat out, is going to make a big improvement. And also nailing my gear change so that I'm generating the right revolutions per minute relative to the wattage output. So that one can get better. The 1 minute test is a very interesting one because they actually knocked my 1 minute test down, as we'll talk about in a moment. For now, 564 is the figure that I actually achieved. I could have done slightly better had I not stopped towards the end, but it wouldn't have been a huge difference. I'm fairly happy with that result. The 5 minute and the 20 minute test are the two that I'm going to improve on most from simply cycling a lot more. Aerobically, I felt fine. My heart rate wasn't high, particularly for either of them. Certainly nowhere near as high as it would have been on a comparable run, but my legs were toast. The 5 minute test, 235, I could have done a bit more, but not a huge amount more. On the 20 minute test, I definitely could have done more. I started off for the first 10 minutes at a rate that I then increased from for the second 10 minutes, which the notes did say was an acceptable technique. But with hindsight, I could probably have started off at the rate that I finished off at and held that throughout. I might have averaged maybe 215, 210 had I done that instead. So that can be improved, and again, as I say, simply cycling will make the biggest difference to that. It takes those results and it translates them into my 4DP profile. It concludes of the various types of cyclists there are. I am an attacker, whatever that means. Interestingly, you can see on there that my 1 minute test has been lowered to 447. Not the 564 that I actually got. Now the reason for that is that they have said that my 1 minute power is greater than 190% of my 5 minute power, and they don't like it when that happens, so they've lowered it down. Interestingly, for my 5 minute time to be of a sufficient rate that my 1 minute time would be allowed, I'd need to be doing something like 300 watts on that 5 minute test. It doesn't feel to me like that's going to be happening anytime soon. So I guess for the time being, I'm going to have to just accept that they will lower my 1 minute result down each time. And then finally, the Sufferfest app takes those numbers and it translates them into my profile, from which it can generate a program for me. It gives some suggested programs that I could use if I wanted to pick and dip into the things that they have available. Alternatively, I've done a simple 12-week program where they put all of those programs in place for me. I don't have to do anything at all. It populates into a calendar and away I go. And that's it. For the next 12 weeks, I'm going to follow the program. At the end of the 12 weeks, I do the 4DP test again and see if I've improved. But I'm going to take that test again sooner. I'm not quite sure when, maybe 3-4 weeks in, but I'm definitely going to take it before 12. I feel that there are some improvements I can make that are more about technique than actual fitness. I want the tailored program to be as specific to me as possible. So if I can do a retest and have it tweak the program, all the better. And that's it. Is it a good result? No, but as I said at the very beginning, it doesn't need to be a good result. Just needs to be one I can improve on. Can I improve on it? Of course.